So Sean Hannity has been in a little bit of trouble ever since it was revealed, or he was revealed, to be a client of Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen, of course, has been raided by the FBI, and it's possible that he might face some serious charges in the future. Now, Hannity, of course, denied being this client. In fact, he said he preferred real estate and that he doesn't deal with the stock market at all and had occasionally consulted with Cohen on real estate matters. Okay, and that's actually important when you factor into the story. Now, thanks to public records reviewed by The Guardian, we now know a lot more about the scale of Hannity's investments in real estate. And it turns out they reveal him to be a massive hypocrite. Now, first, the records link Hannity to a group of shell companies that spent at least $90 million on more than 870 homes in 7 states over the past decade. Now, these properties range from mansions to rentals for low-income families. Now, could you imagine living in a home owned by Sean Hannity? Disaster. I would not want to live there. But anyway, and you know what's weird is that thanks to the way that these are set up with the shell companies, you'd never know that Hannity was the owner. Now, again, super gross, right? Now, what's even more gross is how he acquired these properties. Now, according to the article, dozens of properties were bought at a discount back in 2013 after the banks had foreclosed on their previous owners for defaulting on mortgages. So Hannity, his company, shell companies, came in and they swooped up all these homes that were foreclosed on. Now, that's funny because during that time, he was going after Obama for a high foreclosure rate. In fact, he was spreading falsehoods about how high the foreclosure rate really was. Now, look, if you want to criticize Obama for most of the gains, for example, going to the rich during his administration and income inequality, that's absolutely fine. That's legit. But if you want to make up numbers, like Hannity saying, foreclosures are up 51%. That's ridiculous. It's nowhere even near that high. Still a problem, but come on, dude. Don't make shit up. But anyway, so don't make shit up and then go and profit off the foreclosure rate. And that's even worse. Now, he said, quote, that there were millions more Americans suffering under this president, partly because of the foreclosures. Well, he's right, but while he's saying that, he's going and personally making profit off of these foreclosed homes. There's a word for that. It's called exploitation. Hannity is a vulture. He's making money off of people's suffering. But it gets worse. Hannity also amassed part of his property collection with support from the American taxpayer through the U.S. Department for Housing and Urban Development. That is HUD. Now, on that, the details are damning. According to The Guardian, among the most valuable are 2 large apartment complexes in Georgia that Hannity bought in 2014 for $22.7 million. These developments are in the cities of Perry and Brunswick, which have higher poverty rates and lower median incomes than the U.S. average. 1- and 2-bedroom units in Hannity's apartment complexes are available for rent for $735 to $1,065 per month, according to brochures. The Georgia purchases were funded with mortgages for $17.9 million that Hannity obtained with help from HUD, which ensured the loans under a program created as part of the National Housing Act. The loans, first guaranteed under the Obama administration, were recently increased by $5 million with renewed support from Ben Carson's department. So understand. So he trashes Obama. He trashes public housing programs and loans like this while also taking loans from Housing and Urban Development under a program instituted by President Obama. And not only that, but he actually got an increase thanks to Ben Carson. Now, he didn't disclose any of this when he interviewed Carson on his show and praised him for his work at HUD. Amazing. More details. Late last month, Hannity's mortgages were replaced with loans for $22.9 million and were rewritten with Carson's HUD and a new bank. There was no indication that Carson was personally involved in the process. Carson, however, does have the authority to allow Hannity from 2019 to convert the rental complexes into condos for sale, which could be lucrative for a television host. Gee, I wonder why he praised Carson's work when he was last on the program. Very interesting. I mean, couldn't have anything to do with all that money, right? I think we all know the answer. Look, this is corruption. Absolute corruption. Look, why should public money from HUD be used to support somebody who makes roughly $30 million a year? No, it should be going to low-income families to be able to have them afford homes. But look, grifter's going to grift, right? And Sean Hannity is running an enormous scam. This is the guy who, again, rails against public housing. But Hannity, you claim to stand up for the little guy, for the forgotten men and women? No. You're nothing more than a disgusting vulture. If you loved privatization as much as you claim to have done, then you would have funded those buildings from your own pocket instead of getting giant loans from your friend over at Housing and Urban Development. You want to talk about people taking advantage of the system? You're taking advantage of the system. You're a hypocrite and a liar. Fuck Sean Hannity. It's a goddamn welfare queen. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.